Okay, I am going to try to make this quick. I'm in a lot of pain, so I don't want to belabor this point, but I do think that I need to respond to this because you say you'd rather the world have a real view of the Islamic Republic. I've been watching your thread with the other woman. I think her name is Yalda. And obviously I agree with Yalda. She's seen a lot of my other videos. She understands the disclaimers and she understands what I am saying. So I thought I would come and explain it. Now I will say that I thought this was pretty clear and I say it in almost all of my videos, but I do realize that we Iranians are not great listeners. Gush kon nistim, unfortunately. It's not our strong suit, but c'est la vie. So I will try to explain what I mean by taking your political opinions and emotions out of it. Based upon your comments, okay, you clearly disagree with the Iranian government, okay? That is your political opinion, right? And a lot of that, I can see also, is emotion. Also fine, that is your prerogative. What I am saying by saying take out your politics and emotions is that you need to have a degree of objectivity when you are analyzing any country, including Iran. Because with that objectivity, you can then create a foundation where you can build your analysis that is a solid foundation, okay? You are going to do yourself a disservice if you underestimate what you are working with, okay? Iran has a fully functional government. Does it have elements of dysfunctionality? Of course. Are there moments of chaos? Of course. But it is a functioning government. The government functions as it was designed to function, okay? That has to be the basis of any sort of analysis, is that this is in fact a functioning government. The government does not make rogue decisions. They do not typically shoot from the hip, and we know that, okay? It is a functioning government. Oftentimes people who have never been to Iran or don't live in Iran or have not spent enough time there think that Iran is a dysfunctional rogue state. That's not true. It is a functional place. In a lot of ways, it functions like other places, okay, like other countries. That's why I say, in a lot of ways, Iran is a very normal place, okay? Tehran tends to be a normal city. What you're disagreeing with is the politics and the policy. And I'm saying set that aside and look at it objectively. And it is important to look at it objectively because if you don't know what you are working with. Iran has a functional government. It is, in fact, a fairly well-oiled machine, okay? It has lasted as long as it has because it is functional. Now, some of those structures existed before. I have a video on this. But as it stands currently, it is functional. There are elements of the government that work like any other place, okay? You're taking issue with your personal beliefs and as they relate to the government. That's different. That's different than acknowledging that it is functioning, okay? That's an important thing to know. And that's what I'm saying. I deeply believe that one cannot make any analysis for any country, anywhere, if you put your own emotions into it, because you're going to get clouded by that and you're going to make a mistake in your analysis. A good example of this is that oftentimes in the news, you see people who are Iran analysts, right, saying that the Iranian government is like on the verge of collapse. That's not true, right? And anyone in Iran would tell you that that's not true because the government is a very functioning government, right? This also goes part and parcel with things that I've said in other videos. For example, you cannot paint everyone in the Iranian government with one brushstroke. You're going to do yourself a disservice and you're going to misanalyze the situation. Iran is a very nuanced place, okay? And you need to analyze it with that nuance. Otherwise, you're going to miss things that are actually really important. I think with Iran in particular, it is highly important to know the history before the 1979 revolution. I think it's highly important to see the government as it is without your own emotions and political beliefs, because you have to be able to analyze it objectively. You need all of these things. You need to know that there are different political groups and political factions. You need to know these things so that you can understand the reality of the situation without any of the policy, okay? Like, you need to have that framework before you make any sort of policy conjectures, right? Like, the framework needs to be correct. The foundation has to be solid. And if you sit there and say that I want the world to see the real view of Iran and like the government, right? You would be misleading them to say that it is like a dysfunctional place, because it's not. It does function normally. The day-to-day lives of people are fairly normal, right? Like, you can have like issues with the policies, you can have run-in with like the policies, but like on a day-to-day basis, people get up, they go to work, they do the things that they need to do. It functions like a real place. Like, you can't be painting it as something that it's not, because it's going to skew everything else. Anyway, I hope that you listened this time, whoever all of you are. I say this almost every time, okay? If you want to watch my videos and you're here for like vitriol, this isn't the video. Like, this isn't the page. I'm always going to give you nuance, and I'm always going to give it without my own personal political views and emotions, particularly when it comes to Iran analysis. I'm not going to be vitriolic. It's just not who I am. It's not how I view things. I'm someone who goes back and forth. I love going to Iran, and I think I have a pretty solid view and grasp and understanding of what is happening. You may disagree, but as I'm one to say, you're probably wrong. Now I'm gonna go take my meds and ice my hand.